Hey credit warriors, welcome to the show. Now, a lot of people obsess about getting their credit score into the 800 club or even up to 850, which is as high as most credit scoring models here in the United States go. But you know, the 800 club, I think it's a lot like the Mile High Club. You can do the exact same thing at a lower altitude and it's just as good, or even better. So in this video, we are going to tell you why having a sky-high credit score doesn't really matter as long as you are above a certain level, and we will tell you what that certain level is so you can basically get approved for any credit card and get the best rates on any credit product you apply for. If you like the sound of that, why not subscribe and hit the bell notifications button so you never miss a video. So when someone starts off building their credit score, they normally focus on credit cards first. That's just the easiest thing to apply for, right? You're not going to go and get a loan just to improve your credit score. Now, when you get your score to around a 700 level, you can basically get approved for any credit card. Now, there are some other factors involved, like Chase likes to see at least a year of credit history, some other credit cards may want to see a high income, etc. But assuming that other factors are in check, at a 700 credit score, you can basically get approved for any credit card out there. Now, for other credit products like car loans and mortgages, your credit score will determine the interest rate you are offered. Actually, with credit cards, it's the same. The interest rate is determined by your credit score, but most people just don't pay attention to that because they're not planning on borrowing money on the credit card for any significant period of time. Not planning on it. Some people still do it and they end up paying loads of interest. But anyway, with other products like mortgages and car loans, the interest is determined by your credit score and it has a lot more impact on you because of the amounts of money involved are much higher. Now, banks pool people into groups based on their credit scores, and the people in the higher groups will get the better interest rates. And these groups are set in stone. So someone with a 699 credit score will not get the interest rates offered to someone with a score of 700 and above. So what are these credit score groupings and what group do you need to be in, i.e. how high does your credit score need to be to get offered the best interest rates and to be able to be approved for basically any credit product? Well, FICO, the Fair Isaacs company, which is the sort of main credit score that most banks use, has a rate calculator online, and they show you the credit score ranges and the interest rates you would get currently for each. And it's for a range of loan products, but let's look at a 30-year fixed mortgage. So our lowest range is 620 to 639, where you would get a 4.392% interest rate. Then the next group is 640 to 659, where you get a slightly lower interest rate of 3.857. Then you have 660 to 679, 680 to 699, with rates getting lower as you go. And then we have 700 to 759, and finally 760 to 850 for a 2.834% interest rate. And if you're watching this sometime in the future, yeah, our interest rates were really low back in 2021. I mean, who knows? It could be lower in the future. Maybe you're getting paid to take out a mortgage, although that's not likely. Now, there may sometimes be differences in these groupings. Some banks will offer their best rates to people with scores above 740, but rest assured, if your score is above 760, the world is your oyster. You can get approved for any credit product and you can get the best interest rates on car loans, mortgages, etc. And so you can see the difference in going from 700 to 760 is a far bigger difference than going from 760 up to 800. In fact, being above 760 gives you no benefit whatsoever, except for perhaps flex value and knowing that you have a buffer zone between where you are at 800 plus and that crucial 760 level, so that if you do damage your credit through a hard pull or reporting a high balance one month, you've got quite a long way to go before you're below 760. But there's no situation where you go to a bank and you say, I've got an 800 credit score, what can you give me? And they reply back, because you have a credit score over 800, you now qualify for our best rates. No. That doesn't exist. So how do you get your credit score to 760? Well, first let's talk about getting your score up to 700, because getting up to 700 is pretty easy for someone building credit for the first time, okay? It's a little bit more complicated when you're rebuilding if you've destroyed your credit, but building credit for the first time, just set up 2 credit cards, and always pay on time. Keep your utilization below 30% and you will be at 700 within a year. And then you're at the level basically where you can get approved for any credit card. Now, to keep track of credit utilization and other important statistics about my credit cards, I use the app Max Rewards. It shows me all my balances, utilization, warns me of upcoming bills, also lets me check my credit score. And if you're into credit card rewards like cashback, points, etc., it will tell you which card from your wallet to use at which store to get the best rewards rate. The paid version, Max Rewards Gold, will also activate Amex and Chase offers for you so you never miss a deal. And you can get a free month of that with my link below, or you can also just download the app and check out the free features. Now, where were we with building your credit score? So going from 700 to 760 is quite a bit harder than getting your score to 700 in the first place. And there's no surefire way, but I'm going to give you a few tips to help speed up that process. So try to have at least 4 credit card accounts on your credit report, because every month they are going to be reporting on-time payments, as long as you pay on time. And you need that history of on-time payments to build up your credit score. Additionally, with credit utilization, instead of keeping it below 30% like we recommended first of all, try keeping it below 10% on all your credit cards. Now, you may need to pay off your cards several times a month in order to keep your utilization that low. Remember, it only actually matters on the date when your card reports to the credit bureaus, which is normally your statement close date. So you just have to keep that utilization down on that day. You can also ask for a credit limit increase on your credit cards, and if you spend the same amount of money, then your utilization will be lower because your credit limit is now higher. Just don't go get a credit limit increase and then go and spend and max out your card. That'll have the opposite effect. Then also try to limit hard credit increase. These drop your score by a few points and it takes a few months for your score to bounce back. I would say if you're applying for something like a mortgage, don't apply for any new credit within 6 months of when you want to close on that loan. Then also, speaking of mortgages, credit mix is 10% of how your FICO score is worked out. By credit mix, we mean different types of credit on your credit report, like credit cards, mortgages, car loans, etc. So if you are in the position where you can apply for a mortgage, you can apply for a car loan, it actually pays to have some different types of credit on your credit report, not just credit cards, okay? It gives you that extra boost, that 10% of how your score is worked out. But obviously, you can't just go apply for a mortgage just because you want to improve your credit score, all right? That's a huge life decision. So if you are in the position where you can apply for a mortgage, just be aware that it will help you solidify that high-level credit score, but obviously, you can't apply for it just because you want to build your credit. So guys, that is why it doesn't matter if you have a credit score over 800 or up near the 850 level. And to be honest, if you are taking advantage of credit opportunities like welcome bonuses on credit cards, etc., it will be very hard to maintain a credit score near 850 because you will always be bringing your credit score down a little bit with hard inquiries on your credit report when you apply for new credit cards, etc. But just try to keep it above that 760 level and you're good to go for basically any type of credit application out there. All right, guys, that is the video. Please subscribe if you're new. Check out Max Rewards in the link below if you're interested, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.